Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing good. I'm doing better today. Um, the muscle relaxers did help me sleep. I got 2 nights of pretty good sleep now, so that does make a difference. Have you put any thought into what I was talking about with Eve not being the one that took a bite of that forbidden fruit? Um, and the way mankind is, and all of Satan's lies, and Satan being the Baphomet, Baphomet, uh, or Shiva depicting the male female thing, which is truly the whore of Babylon, Satan falling, raping angels, the whole story, the truth of it is right there in plain sight. Um, and yeah, it bothers me. You know, if anybody had a reason to think that a woman would have been the one that had done something wrong in the begin with, I would be probably the first person to say, yeah, I believe that. But and the reason why, oh, here's a couple for instances. Being adopted and having a mother that was a narcissist, and then meeting my birth mother, who is also a narcissist, and both of them having borderline filthy, real filthy minds that think that jokes out of the norm. Like at 70 years old, my birth mother passing around posts that said, I suck, but at least I get paid for it. When she and my sister used to be out on the street, they were whores, you know. Even a drunk or druggy mother would have said, "Go get your own corner" to her daughter. No mother in her right mind, drugged or not drugged, would have her child out on the corner with her to buy drugs. It doesn't matter. You can't convince me any different. I know better, you know. So there's that one mother does not like me, does not love me, um, and truly was a whore. God will help her. I know that. I don't have any doubts about that. It's just that I distance myself from people that cause me pain, you know, on a daily basis and think nothing of it. The same goes with the one that adopted me. I'll give you a little story on this now. My son was born the day before Christmas. A year later, I spent Christmas with my adopted parents. On that day, the adopted mother had bought nude suckers she had made of women and gave them to all the men on Christmas Day. A neighbor boy, um, they the neighbors were over for Christmas too because they were friends. We were all friends, and I used to babysit and ride horses with the mom and whatnot. So we were all pretty close in that respect until this night of hell for me with these suckers. And here was their little boy. He was approximately, I'm going to say, 8, maybe 9, was licking and biting the breasts off this woman sucker that his dad had gave him because none of the guys wanted these suckers anyway. So he gives it to the kid. Things got worse. In the meantime, I have this woman that supposedly is supposed to be my mother flirting with the neighbor guy. My dad's flirting with the neighbor woman. She's in the hall talking to the neighbor guy. He's got the neighbor woman on his lap. And, and with these nude suckers and everything on Christmas, it's like Merry Christmas, right? So, which is supposed to be a Christian, a sacred day. Whatever. So, if anybody had a reason to look low upon other women and say, you know what, I believe that she did that, it would be me. I would be the first one to say that. But knowing what a woman is supposed to be and imagining what the first woman actually was like, and being that men are usually more hungry than women anyway, in all respects, I'm going to stick with my not only the white papers that I saw, but the truth is out there. It says right there how the angels had sex with females. I'm telling you that Eve wasn't her name anyway, but she was raped. She had twins. The evil one killed the good one, Cain and Abel. The story, it's all there in black and white. Then homosexuality came about, and Satan was happier than heck trying to cover up the original sin, the original crime, you know. But lately it's been a little disheartening for me on Facebook because my youngest son, meaning no ill will, as far as I know, had befriended my birth mother in Texas. So when there's a post or something, I got to see her on there, and she's as fake as all shit. Maybe not with the kids that are in her life around there, and they might be used to it. You know, she gets up and leaves a couple kids in California and goes with a few of them in Texas. Another one moves out of the house with the neighbors when they're 12, you know. And I mean, I forgive her for giving me away. In fact, I'm really glad she did because I would have ran away from there anyway because I don't stay around things that eat away at my soul. I can't handle. At least if I'm with strangers, I expect strangers to be strange to me. I don't expect my own blood to be strange to me, so but like I say, if you want any confirmation on what the facts are, look into the Baphomet, look into the stories of the angels raping women, and then you'll get to the bottom of what the Garden of Eden and the forbidden fruit and why Eve was blamed by Satan and the writings and the false history that has been put out here and why it is happening, why it was put out there, and why Satan wants mankind, men, dead, not acting like men, so women will not be protected, which we haven't been, not really for a very long time. And the story of Eve just feeds into that. So I hope you looked into your heart and souls, and the proof is out there. Look into the Baphomet, look into Shiva, look into the other religions that celebrate part man and part woman, and think of what I am saying here and why that would be. Because that's what it is and why it is. To cover up the original sin that had nothing to do with any human being. And that's what the war is about. And we will be justified. But nowadays, and I gotta admit, women act, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, when they act unfeminine, which to me, when a woman is like flirty or lustful or whatever like that, to me, that is more testosterone. To me, that screams man. I don't see it as anything feminine about that. I see it as being used by Satan to get what he wants, which is mankind dead, so he can get what he wants out of the women. And I heard somebody say that Satan has a regard for women. Regard, I would say, is the wrong word. Lust, is the word. Regard is when you hold somebody in regard with esteem, with love, with protection and nurturing and that type of thing. Regard, Satan has no regard for anybody, not even his self. If it wasn't for God stepping in and taking care of Satan's stupidity, which he's trying to clean up as we speak, the only regard for humankind on this planet comes from God. So, but anyway, like I say, look into the Baphomet, um, the origins of it, where it started, and think about like in India with the Shiva and everything, and what that would be all about if you mix the male and female, and you mix the stories and the things that happened, and the fallen angels were cast out. There was one angel cast out, and he had a bloodline that he had started in heaven that was a part of him. It's a part of him. It's not the original angels that God made. This is Satanistic. That's why it's a Satanistic world. What he didn't expect, not right away, was that God's people would come through that bloodline and rise out of that blood. That's something that surprised him, and he tries to silence it, he tries to kill it, and it just doesn't seem to go away because it's very strong. It's the Christ spirit within mankind that Satan cannot kill. But the truth will come out. I'm just asking people to do your studies. I mean, I can show you a picture of the Baphomet. I can tell you of their origins, but telling you why is because Satan wanted that woman and thought since he was the oldest male form of any kind that should have been his. Not, he wasn't thinking on the level that maybe God had something better on his level, more in mind, that was not humankind. He was greedy, and he acted upon his greed, and he didn't care about and still does not care about anybody but himself. That's what's going on. So we all know that the words have been changed in the scriptures, and the Garden of Eden story is not the way it went down at all. Even Adam did nothing wrong. But I can imagine that Adam was so upset at his wife being raped and then bearing children, one his, one Satan's, that there was issues between them, and she probably wasn't even able to speak about it. Can you imagine how shocked that woman would have been with the whole situation, or how dirty she would have felt even being touched by another man? I feel dirty when men look at me like that. You know, it's on them, but it still doesn't make me feel any better. And I remember guys looking at me when I was a baby, you know? So this is one sick world. It is. Maybe some women looked at me like that too, and I might have been protected from the thoughts of that um, until I got older. And either way, it's a sick world and it's hard to deal with. When your mind isn't in the same exact spot as theirs, you become their enemy because they want you to be like them. So I've been putting up with for many years now, knowing that two women that were supposed to be my mother and love me basically hate me because my mind is not filthy, you know? So, and there is a Satan other half, the woman, Esther, and the story of, um, well, Satan raped the woman, Esther raped her own son. That's, the things that, and I have videos explaining all this, and I know some of you have heard this before. And on this earth right now, that's the blood that's running through our veins. The truth is inside ourselves. If we ask God for the truth, ask Him right now. Is Barb telling what she's saying? Is this fact? Ask Him for the facts. All I'm doing is asking you to search your hearts deeper. And when you're reading the Bible and it talks about the fallen angels, they didn't fall, they were pushed, you know? Yeah, if you want to say mankind fell, because that's their bloodline. Christ is rising out of that. Because Satan didn't understand that he was elevated above humans with more knowledge and more strength than humans had. And he was jealous when he had more than they had to begin with. And God was waiting for mankind to develop so angels could have companionship and he could have companionship with somebody with enough knowledge to understand how things are made and the biology and the physics and everything that goes behind that, you know. So, but yes, those are my thoughts today, and I hope you like and share this video because what I'm telling you is true. It's what the Masons know. It's what a lot of the churches know. It's the truth that they're not telling everybody. And if you don't see it as important that your history or our ancestors had been lied about and they're trying to put it on human beings when human beings did nothing, the sorrow of carrying that through generations upon a man's heart when they know better, you know. And here it's not a difference between right or wrong or good or bad. This is the difference between the lies within history and who would keep perpetuating those lies when they do know the truth and why they would do that. Satan does it out of selfishness so he doesn't get busted by God, so it can't be proven. And mankind does it for money that Satan made for them and made a way so they could live on easy street. And they want to keep living on that street because their blood is dirty like his. They're dirtier than the blood of Christ that wants to climb out of hell. So, would you help me help us climb out of hell? Are you not sick of hearing that our foremother, our greatest grandmother, is called a whore? Aren't you sick of hearing that even Adam couldn't protect his own wife and that men are becoming wusses and nothing is being done about it? Aren't you sick of the whole thing? All the lies, the fake history, everything? Well, help me get the truth out here so people can understand. Search your hearts. Stop the crap. Let's stop the lies and stand up for who we are. Help me. Help me help us. Would you? Okay. Please. Come on. I've been thinking on this for decades. I didn't have a computer way back when to help. We do now. This is important. Would you please help us help ourselves? Put an end to this crap. Stand up into the face of these creeps that want to live on Easy Street and say, no, these are our streets. We're kicking your Satanistic asses off it. This is our neighborhood. This is our land, our earth, our air, our water. And you made the whole thing dirty, including our history and our ancestors. And I'm sick of it. So help me. Would you please? Please. Like and share this video. I don't care if you even hate me. You know my points are factual. I can't prove it. But you know my passion inside isn't fake. Somewhere, something I've said in this video has got to touch somebody to say, hey, we need to act on this. We need to get history out here straightened up because this is bullshit. All the money mongers and warmongers and all the rest of this crap, it's got to go away. How are we going to do that? By strong people talking to each other and helping each other. There's nothing to fear. I'm still alive, and I've fought them all. You can help me, okay? I'm asking you. I'm not going to say search your hearts. That evidently isn't working. Do the right thing for yourself. Stand up and speak out, damn it. Enough with this patsy pussyfooting around bullshit. And they got kicked out of the Garden of Eden, and then they know they were naked. No. God clothed his children. They were naked when they were raped. Think on that. Think that the man and the woman was raped. Think of the psychological turmoil by a jealous older brother demon. And I'll close it with that. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Later. Thank you for joining me.